Hello, welcome to something that may very well be the last MVR building livestream. Now, I say may very well be because of two reasons. The first is that the stuff that I'm going to build might take a bit longer than I thought, and so it might run over, and so we might have one more. Or rather, after the stream, if we do finish everything that I had intended to build this stream, then I'm going to, before the next stream, I'm going to go fly over the whole route and make a list, well, two lists of things I still want to build. And the first list is going to be things that I'm going to build off stream. So that's like filling in some of the baseboards over here so that you can't look across and just see the back faces of the baseboards. Or update a bit of the scenery, put more trees and bushes next to the rivers and stuff like that. Boring stuff that's a bit tedious that I'm going to do off stream, or stuff like signaling down here, making sure all of that works. The other list is stuff that I want to build on stream, scenery stuff, that I've just completely forgotten about. Hopefully that second list will be empty and it will have 0 elements in its array, so that no matter what index you give it, it will always be out of bounds, if you get the reference. So, with that being said, hello Marky, live stream starting soon. Yes, this stream will be archived on www.youtube.com/Sharadice. Yes. Also, before we get started, I have been busy making that bullet point list for the review breakdown of the film, and it is much longer than I had originally anticipated. Apparently I've got a lot more to talk about than I had originally thought, so kind of glad that I'm going to do it in a structured format and not during the stream while I'm trying to build. So Albasto says, hello favorite Kango Fango, Sharadice. Why are you telling me that you're saying hello to your favorite Kango Fango? Yes. Now what, I say, what is that supposed to mean? Which film? Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. So, first thing I want to do, which Kango Fango pointed out last time, hold on, that's already low, okay, that's fine, is I never hooked up the second track to the 2 intermodal hubs. I still need to do that. And that should be quite a quick thing to do. Just need to quickly wait for all the assets to load in. Just need to connect the track up with some junctions and quickly set up the multiple industries so that you can actually either pick up or drop off the intermodal goods. So that should not take very long at all. So how's everybody been who's currently in chat? Right, I'll put that on hiddens. Then let's connect it. Will you be making the sessions on stream? That's a good question. Some of them, yes. Because, well, part of the reason why I'm live streaming... Oh, right, that's already on temp block, never mind. Part of the reason why I'm live streaming this route building in the first place is to offer help, like route building help, to people who are new to the game. I mean, the tutorials are great, but at some point you just need to watch someone actually put it into practice. And so that's why I'm building the routes, and so the same goes for sessions. So the plan is to have at least 2 sessions made on stream. The first is a cargo session, the second is a passenger session, because those two are quite different. and maybe a few more that include maybe some switching, maybe some stuff like that. The rest of the sessions will be made off stream because, well, I want there to be surprises if you buy the route and decide to also drive on it. Now the question here is this going to be a little bit too steep of a bend or not? Given that we've only got the little switchers coming in here, I think that'll probably be fine, but let's just quickly double check. Or I suppose we could double Slovak, but I don't think Slovak Eagle would appreciate that. Okay, so if you just imagine these coming onto here, that seems fine. I'm kind of going over like that. Like this is the point where we've got the most shear at this point. But yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this is all fine. And since we've already done all of the frogs and stuff like that on here, which is something I need to still do on the main line, like on the flat bit of the main line. That's going to be done off stream there, but here I might as well do it on stream very quickly. So left goes on the right, rotate that, add that in, right goes on the left, add that, rotate that, move it correctly, there we go. So now let's make this merge in over here as well. Now you might think, why am I making this into 2 tracks when one of the tracks is so short? Because you can't simultaneously load and unload with an intermodal train using this, because one of the tracks is so short. The answer is that in this version of Trainz, this didn't used to be the case in older versions, but in this version of Trainz, if you've got an industry that can load and unload the same commodity, it will do both of those. So either it will, if you're going in empty, it'll load it and then unload it immediately, and then you can't actually load anything that way. Or if you come in unload it. No, if you come in unload, load, unload. If you come in load it, it'll unload and then load, one of the two. And so you can't use it for both, which means I need to have 2 tracks. Which is unfortunate, but oh well. Okay, so that's the new one, I think. Yeah. Right? If I hide temp locked, is this on? No. Okay, if I put this onto temp locked, the new one, and I hide temp locked, then let's have a look at the old one, which I didn't set up yet. I'm not going to go through the whole process of setting that up, because that'll eat a lot of the time and that's not fun. You've already watched me do this literally dozens of times during the table episodes. Also known as the dark times. No, those are actually quite fun. So I am actually just going to give it the proper name, and then I'm going to set it up off stream. Okay, now the unloader won't. Okay, you go onto hiddens, then you go onto root layer, and I need to call that loader. And then show hiddens. And that's of course the wrong one. So now I need to hide the actual root layer. And then I can go back onto this one. Oh, did I accidentally click on it twice? Oh, I think I did. Oh. Yeah, if you hide the root layer, that can get a bit interesting sometimes. Okay, so there we go. Now I just need to also place the correct trackset objects on the other side. And then we'll set up the other one. Right, double check. Wait, so how does it work with passengers then? Passengers is more complicated. Because with passengers, you've also got the... where you can decide how the station behaves. If it's like a small station, large station, or terminus, or pass-through, or... those different things, and that... to be honest, I haven't completely figured that out yet. I've never really had to really use it much. Specifically, like... yeah. But it is a bit different from what I understand. Okay, just a little bit of texture work underneath this bit. Ta-da! Okay, save. And then we'll head up to Silver Falls and connect the other track there as well. Which is here. This should be fairly simple. This track, I can just connect up to here. Then we've got the same amount of space to run around, although that is the wrong track. I need the rusty one. And then this one can basically just hook in there. Should be fine. A little spline point there, straighten that. Did I ever add the... oh yeah, I did add the frogs and things here. Okay, so let's quickly do this. Right, that's good. That one's already done, except I need to add one more of these. So this is right, which means this needs to go on the center one. And then that needs to be up there. This needs to go on that one. That needs to be there. And then I just need to put something over the top of this. And something over the top there. And there we go. Yeah, I think that looks okay. And since I'm setting these up off stream anyway, that's this done. Right, so now that we've connected those, it's time to head back down to New Penzance, and it's time to finally paint underneath the buildings that you can see, so that you can't see the buildings standing on grass. Which shouldn't take very long. Oh, why are you... ah, right, hiddens. Yes, hiddens needs to go away. That's fun. Right, so these buildings are okay. Well, there you can see a little bit through there. Let's just paint that. And then basically just paint along here on the edge. But you can't really look through these much anyway. On this side, however, you can. Ooh, also, did I never put... yeah, that's another thing I need to do. I need to put trolley wires along here. That's going to take a little while. Ooh, and I should also put a few buildings along there. Just because you can actually look back that way, because that was the whole point. Okay, just fix that up. Now if we look along here, oh, there's a little bit we need to do back here. Ooh, not that big of a brush though. And I am actually going to put a little bit of a different texture on there as well, mixed in with that a little bit. That all looks good except for here. Just fill that in a bit like this, although you can't really see back there anyway. Need to fill in a little bit there. A little bit back here. Back here as well. Even though, yes, you still won't be able to really see that. Between these buildings as well, because you can kind of look back there. Not really, but still a little bit. Bulk has update replace Tiers 19 grid, Tiers 09 Graveler 4, whatever it was called now. No, because you can't see that grid. If I decide to replace it, then I'll need to carefully consider that. Okay, over here I know that I've already finished this, so I don't need to do any work there. How about here? Is that all? Yeah, that should all be good. Good, good, good. That's all good, like I just said. So now let's add the buildings over here and then add the trolley wires. By the buildings, I literally just mean a few along here. Nothing too fancy. Could even just use a few of the same ones. Just like that, just so that if you look back there from an angle like this, you can see that there is depth there. And then maybe one more to cap it off, perhaps one of these, because that's got a very distinctive color to it, so that if you look back here, you can actually see that this is a bit different. Maybe just like that. Yeah, so I am going to paint over there, because if your render distance is lower, you would just see the green otherwise. But like that, yeah, that's good enough. And then I am going to paint straight along here with a different texture, just to emphasize that there is a road going back there. Okay, now let's quickly add the trolley wires. I don't have to add them all the way along, just over here where we've still got it visible, basically. So they go up to right here. Okay, now I think, is this road perfectly straight? Maybe. So if I, although it doesn't look like it now that I'm looking at it properly, if I just bring this along all the way to there, then if I fly along it with my mouse staying roughly centered on the track, will it stay above? No, it will not. Okay. So now let's quickly turn off limit contextual information so that I can see where the track spline points are. And I can put these over the top like that, and that should work. Because now they are actually synced, pretty much. And how's it over here? Yeah, that's good enough. And to be honest, I don't even need to bring the trolley wires that far back, because you're not really going to look back here. Except maybe, yeah, I mean, that's another thing, having traffic, like actual, not traffic lights, street lights. Because street lights are going to take quite a bit of work, so that's something to look into off stream, because you know, I mean, you've seen me place these. It's just literally a matter of turning it to almost night. So just as a test, you would turn it to just about like that, so that the street lights turn on, although it might take a moment for them to actually turn on. And then it's literally just a matter of placing it, turning it, placing it, turning it, placing it, turning it, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so forth, until you've lit up everything you need to light up. But that is really very tedious, so I'm not going to do it live. You can thank me later. Or now. Yeah, actually, you know what? Thank me now. Okay, so yeah, I am going to add these along here, just because you can actually see those going along. Thank you, maggot lice. Maggot lice. Thanksies, thank you. You're all welcome. Whenever you post those lanterns, it always reminds me of that event in Terraria, where you get the flying lanterns in the sky, in the night sky. I think it only happens if after you've defeated a boss or something for the first time. But it still looks beautiful, because it's supposed to be like the inhabitants of the lands celebrating that you've rid the land of this terrible monstrosity. And so they send out these oceans of lanterns into the night sky to celebrate your great victory over the forces of evil and or hunger. Yay! Aww. Oh, also, I've just remembered that before I can make any sessions for this, I'll have to come up with the official MVR liveries. So that'll be something. Now, how do I actually want to place these all the way along here? Oh, well, actually, I've already placed them all the way along here, so the point is kind of mute. But yeah, you can see those going along, so that is needed. On-stream reskinning? Probably not. I don't know. It's because that seems like the sort of thing where especially if you're not used to it a lot, it seems like the sort of thing that can take a long time without having much to show for, because you're just trying this out, then trying that out, trying to see if that lines up, then undoing that, redoing it differently, and trying out loads of things until you find something that works, and then just going back and forth, making a minute change, going back into Trainz, seeing if that's lined up now, then going back and making another minute change to see if that's lined up now, and all that sort of stuff. Of course, it depends on the actual layout of the UV maps for the model that I'd be reskinning. But the plan currently is not to do it live. Will you do it on a 32K by 3K template? Let's round it down to... oh. Probably not. Probably not. I'll probably use the same resolution as the asset's original resolution. Now, I will not put supporting wires between all of these lampposts because you simply won't see them. I will, however, do it on the ones that are closer by the station, because the likelihood that you're going to actually go close to those is quite high, especially if you see streetcars running along here. And so the detail is needed there. Shadows, well, you could demo skin a locomotive off stream or make on paper sketch of your livery design, and when you're happy you can live stream it. Maybe, although that isn't really how I tend to work with these things. Like with design, stuff like that, I tend to just apply it to the actual model and see if it works. And if it's working, then I just add more and more and more and more and polish it more and more and more until it's finished. I don't tend to make a demo skin and then finish that and then restart skinning, but this time doing it properly, and then that's not really my workflow. If that is what you meant. I believe the majority, if not all, of Dave Snow's locomotives are freely reskinnable. That is very good news. Although, I mean, most of the sessions will feature you driving F7s or F units like that, maybe a few different ones. But those streamlined diesels, and then also, of course, the little black switchers, which don't necessarily need to be reskinned if I'm just using the debranded ones. Also, I'm not sure if they would even be allowed to be freely reskinned. I will have steam locomotive sessions as well on this. And so I'll have to find some steam locos that can be freely, well, that I can get permission to reskin. So that'll be interesting. I just hope that I'll actually get permission to reskin the locomotives that I want to reskin, because it's going to be so frustrating, or it would be so frustrating to go to all the trouble, find a locomotive. Oh, that's perfect. This locomotive is perfect for this. It's the engine specs work properly, interior is 19, the detail's great, it's got the right wheelbase, it's this great locomotive, and then I contact the author and I never hear back from them. That would be frustrating. So you could repaint his Fairbanks moors. That's a good point. That's a good point. Hey, at least your computer probably has a GPU. Or a GPU. I do think my computer probably has a GPU. I meant doing a demo skin to get you more used to repainting a locomotive or Trainz. And are comfortable when you are, come up with the actual concept. I don't know. Just don't know. Ooh, actually, hold on. I need to quickly switch over to this because I need to create a new file because I've just remembered something. 1 second. One second. This is just, I've just remembered stuff that I want to do on this route off stream. Just remembered that I wanted to do an animal pass, where I add stuff like butterflies or deer or things like that, which I'll put in a layer so I can turn on and off, like a root layer, so I can turn that on and off as I want to. And I think that's probably far enough with the crossing over trolley wires. Okay, so that's done. I've painted underneath. Now, the next thing that's left to do is detail the station platforms more. And by that I mean add more benches and bins and trampolines and all that sort of stuff. Should I see it? Find rolling stock assets you want to rescan ASAP so that the clock's ticking, so that you can get permission before you actually want to work on it. Be good. That is a good point. That is a good point, yeah. What height have I set this to? Plus 0.9, okay. Ah, these already have a little bit of offset. That's actually really helpful. Although I should probably align these properly. Like so. Ooh, actually I only need one here. That's right, because this is the last platform on this side. So, Kanga, when are you going to make your best bits of the MVR series compilation? Oh hey, look, those two assets were just randomly rotated the exact same way. That's interesting. Okay. If I were to make a bench asset, I'd more likely than not also make it back-to-back version. Interesting. Animated? No, not animated. I just meant like clip show, basically. Just going through all the streams and then watching them all back, and if there's something that's truly noteworthy, like for example when Slovak Eagle first showed up in Twitch chat when I was building Nothasea, or the first time you, of course, were there also live, not just watching the archive, and when Willis was there, when the whole mayor thing got started, and all those sorts of things, or even, of course, the PowerPoint signings stuff, and just making a clip show of that. I'm asking you not if you're going to do this, but when. Mwahaha. First MZ! First MZ! I see. Okay, should rotate that a bit. Place that there. Also, I am really quite looking forward to being able to have a misc slot again. I'm thinking of Planet Coaster, City Skylines, a few other games like Sailwind, stuff like that as well. Okay, so hold on. If I copied all of these, if I just went straight across here like that, I copied that and I pasted it somewhere. What would I be pasting? All of that stuff. Okay. Well, what if I deleted all of that stuff? Although actually, if I've already got the signs with this, why not just keep them? Okay, let's switch this to add mode. And then let's see if this works. That is offset weirdly. Hold on. About like that? Nope, that's even weirderly offset. Although strangely enough, here it's fine. And then as it moves on, it gets more offset? Huh? Why? How can that be? How can the distance between the objects be getting closer like that? That's very strange. Did I turn it the wrong way? Let's try it like that. Nope, that is genuinely perplexing. Huh. Okay, well, I'll add one more set of benches along here. Right, let's ball. No, not yet, not yet. I first gotta finish building this stuff. Also, hello, yes. Also, if you did ever make a compilation of all the best bits of the MVR building series, you would definitely have to overlay it with some kind of melancholic yet hopeful piano music. That kind of guides the whole thing and carries you through all the streams and all the clips and all of the time spent. Like, you know, the thing that is beautiful and melancholic, but also hopeful and energizes you and all that sort of thing. I think that'd be lovely. Because that would not only emphasize the scope of the project, but it would also, for those people who watched the live streams, would also maybe be a little bit nostalgic, because it might remind you of stuff that happened back then. And then also it would underline the sheer amount of time that went into this project and how long it has been since I started it to when I will have inevitably finished it. Well, I say inevitably. It is avoidable. I just don't want to avoid it. Oh, come on. There we go. Litter bins too? Yes. Litter bins too. This is turned the wrong way around, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, proceeds to Dark Country. Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a musician. I defo include bits from Trainz Live, number 70. Number 70, was that one of the multiplayer ones, or which one was that? Which one was number 70? Let me, please let me know about that. Or which one was that? Oh, in VC, right after Central Europe showcase. Ah, right. Okay, and here I'll put them a little bit closer in. Although I suppose... Yeah, I'll put them a little bit closer in on these two platforms. Oh, they got the right, the exact same rotation again. In VC, right, where I started with the story thing with Milim Eliam Amrith, Butter Sand of Gabble Rock the First. I remember that one. That was fun. Was that the one where Mr. W was in chat as well? In voice chat, I mean. I know Mr. W was in voice chat for a lot of the Trainz streams, but... Would? Aworth. Ah, Aworth, of course. Of course, how silly of me. I said! Mr. W in... Oh, right, yeah, I completely didn't see the tag. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, so I've got bins there. Well, benches there. I think maybe one more set just along there. Just so that as you're coming into the platform, you've already got a bit of detail to look at. Hey, make it your last dun dun dun. And Albastro was in chat too. Ah. Make it your last dun dun dun. What do you mean in that context? What should I make my last dun dun dun? Remember, with your long, long words for Mr. W, to read it out. Last mistake, in case you misseed it. I'm not sure what you mean, sorry. I'm a little confused by a message. You said... Oh, my mistake. Ah, alright, yeah. Made a mistake with not seeing Mr. W tag. Oh, yes. Make it your last. Dun dun dun. Oh! Oh, right. I thought you meant that as in I should make something my last dun dun dun. No, we will not miss seed. No one will be missing seed. Yes. Ah, no! Good old King Julian reference. Popcorn mania. Yeah, there are a lot of fun things that I'm looking forward to in regards to live streams. I already mentioned the return of Misc slot for stuff like Planet Coaster, City Skylines, that sort of thing. Other games as well. But another thing is also, I'm considering, depending on details, I'm considering also making game dev streams return, depending on how the slots end up being and what projects I'm, how I'm doing with what projects and how much time I would have available, because I want to actually, if I were to bring back game dev streams, I want to actually be able to be fairly confident, at least fairly confident, to actually finish the game. So, but that's a thing that I might do and I want to do. Then we've of course got the Tales of Vestia roleplay things as well. Once it's actually in a beta testable state, which it's nowhere near. Just look at how much I talked about the magic system yesterday and how ambiguous a lot of that still is. And then you can be fairly certain that it won't be beta testable anytime soon. But that is something that I am also looking forward to, because it'll be so nice getting everybody, well, not everybody, but some of the people who want to back and having beta tests of that. Okay, bins. I'll put some between the benches here. I think this was 0.3. Yeah, 0.3 was the height that I needed for this. Kango, I know what your plan is, and it will not succeed. There will be no sucking seed here. Okay, I'll put a bin there, and I'll put some over on the connecting bit over where the, after the end of the tracks, I'll put a few bins there as well. Okay, so I've got bins there, bins there, bins there. I'll put another set of bins along these platforms here, kind of between them there. By the time I had escaped my second dungeon, it had the same guards in it. I was right fuming, bashed the entire tavern furniture and glassware together. That was a right hassle. That was. Innkeeper had a stern word with me, but I just countered it with a voracious look. I thought you were about to say vicious mockery, and I was going to be really happy that you actually know spells like that, but no. Voracious look, and told him, I want my bread, and I want it now. He was right intimidated after that one. The bread did have a strange aftertaste of deceit in it. But no matter. I returned to my high throne in my lair in my fair castle. I read that as in my lair castle. I returned to my high throne in my lair castle. Something like that it was, from memory. It was something like that, yes. I think there was also a child involved that got a bit annoyed. Have you guys seen Savari's car? It's mostly complete. I have seen the pictures you posted, yes. However, I didn't look at them in great detail, mostly because I'm not really that into cars. Okay, yeah, I'll just put a few bins over here as well. Just in the middle of the concourse. Yeah, because for City Skylines, I've also got a lot of the DLCs when they were on sale a while ago. So, like the Parks and Plazas and the transportation that adds monorails and all that sort of stuff. And I've got the Industries one, and I've got a whole bunch of them. And I've never played with them yet, so that'll be my first experience with those DLCs. Now, that's about to be interesting. I'll put a bin over by the exit as well, because that is bound to be filled up in no time. I was about to say no time bumpy, I think is a better term for it. And then I think I'll also put new Penzance. I'll put 2 new Penzance signs here. I'll put one there and I'll put one on the other side, so it's symmetrical. Yeah, having shadows enabled on this would be really helpful. I think it was -30. New Penzance, like that. I think that's right. Yes. Okay, and then between these two here, lair castle. Haha, found it. Oh, you found the lair castle? Well, that's not a very good lair if it's that easily discovered. Okay, 2 signs there. New Penzance, new Penzance. But is that still floating a bit? No. Hold on. No, it's fine. Okay. So, what do you think about that? I think that looks good. I'll put the animated clock over the top of that one as well, because I remember that I did that on Telehigh. Miscellaneous. Yeah, Telehigh. And actually I might do that on the other station as well, the intermediate one, the Museum Street one. We'll see. It's mostly complete, yes. Found it. Is that the one where you read? Where you wrote it, sorry. Audio? Oh, you want me to actually... Okay, well... Hold on, then I've got to switch this over.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's true. Ha, sobbing now, thanks. And can go, right, here we go.
Okay.
By the time I escaped... okay. But by the time I escaped the second dungeon, it had the same guards in it. I was right fuming. I bashed the entire tavern furniture and glassware together. That was a right hassle, that was. Innkeep had a stern word with me. I gave him a voracious look and told him I want my bread and I want it now. The guard was right, intimidated after that one. Although the bread did have a strange aftertaste of deceit in it, but no matter. I shall return to my high throne in the fair castle. Albastro, what about the ions?
No, just one second. That sentence. No. Although the bread did have a strange aftertaste of deceit in it, but no matter. I mean, if you have to just thinking about that. Yeah, when Kango Fango writes these little story things, you really have to kind of focus on the individual sentences to the entire thing, like I shall return to my high throne in my fair castle. So he's so actually he's like a king or something who's been imprisoned in the dungeon so many times and just escaped, and who's trying to get
Why
bread
is
from
the
an
king of the-
innkeeper. Like, yeah, I mean, if you just read it down, then sure. But if you think about it a bit, then you can truly appreciate its humor.
I'm watching this one back just to see it, just to hear my laughter, because that was outrageous. Bastro, what about the irons though, Mr. W? The little slanty eyes emoji.
Yeah. I do still stand by that point. In those messages, in those little stories you write, yeah, you do actually have to. It's not enough to just read it out. You actually have to think about it to truly be able to appreciate all the clever wittiness and fun that you've put in it. I'll reach out in a bit once I've put the clock here. There we go. So, no time indeed. What's best? Blind walkthroughs, blind speedruns, or blind reviews? Blind walkthroughs. Maybe. Also, I really liked how pretty the lights looked in that other stream. Back when I had the monocolored warm white lights reflecting off the table as well, the wooden table. That looked very nice. Anyway, audio, thanks. I remember this. Yeah, that was the part. I am unable to decipher which shared eyes is talking. Yeah, I have that problem all the time. I keep thinking it's present shared eyes, but the lips don't move. Yeah, I have that problem too all the time. Past one. Well, I gotta go. Good luck with the root selling. Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye, Lisa. Oh, thank you. Good night, Vijay. Yeah, may you get many quids. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yay for the clock. Yellow lights. Right, so time to add the clock over by Museum Street as well. Disconnected. Good. Good. Sometimes I want to talk, but my lips just feel limp. Buy this new lip delimpifier for just $24.99. Side effects included. And yes, that is a word which I'm challenging you all to use in just a regular conversation tomorrow or the next time you have one, like without live chat, which is lip delimpifier. Side effects optional. Yes. Right, okay. Good. I will make that happen. Well, if you do, then I'll be happy about that. Challenge rejected or summit. Haha. Yeah, we'll go with or summit. E.g. accepted. Okay, so I added those 3 clocks. Now, I guess it's just a question of adding a few more decorative cars around the place, really. Or, no, no. I'll add a signal box first, over here somewhere. And then I'll add the rest of the detail in this little bit, and then I might go back and add cars. So if I look for no payware and signal box. Right. Which one of these look like a US one? Because I don't think that I've placed a proper US one before. I mean, maybe... I guess this one could work. Yeah, I think that looks sufficiently generic enough to be able to pass as a US one. Oh, it's even got a nameplate. There we go. Right, so now time to put all sorts of stuff on here. No, I'm not going to stick US flags on everything. I mean, like, I already stuck a US flag on the other signal box there. If I stuck another US flag on something over here, then I think that would just be a little bit too much, don't you think? Yeah, I think that would be a bit too much. Right. So, yeah, sleepers. Right. Good. I remember what I wanted to do with sleepers. Which is basically just have them piled up over here. I'll probably add some barrels and stuff like that as well. Ooh, what was the Easter egg that Eagle wanted to have? It was a car, if that exists. There was a specific car that Eagle wanted me to put in somewhere as an Easter egg. Do you remember what kind of car that was? Was it a Trabant? There aren't any old Fiat 500 assets, though, that are freeware. There we go, that fits perfectly here. No. Trabant. Oh, yes, it was Trabant. Good, thank you. Okay, and then maybe some old rails. Actually, hold on. Trabant. Do I have it? Oh, I have several of them. Okay, I'll place that one. Actually, hold on. Okay, so I'll kind of mix it together. I can't place a Fiat 500, so I'm going to place a light blue Trabant. Or maybe just a really quite blue Trabant. That'll be fine. So, where should I put it? Where? I wonder. I do wonder. I think that, yeah, I'm just going to probably place it on the left, well, actually maybe back there somewhere. Yeah. You're going to be the only ones who actually know where I'm going to have hidden this Easter egg. So don't tell Eagle, he'll have to find it for himself. So that's going to be a fun one. Right, so do you think maybe here would be fun? I mean, maybe that'd be good. Maybe that'd be a good location. Although, to be honest, if we go over here... I mean, if I hide it behind that building, then no one will find it. So I'll have to put it somewhere else where it's a little bit more easy to spot. So, perhaps... Well, actually, maybe just over here. Honestly, I think that could actually work quite nicely. We just have it there. Although I'll have to adjust it so that it actually works. I think that should be fine. What do you think? Do you think that'll work there? I think that might work there. Although I'll probably have to adjust it slightly yet. Tell you what, I'll move it a little bit further that way. Just so it's not too obvious. But honestly, I think that's fine. I think that's good. Wait. You're asleep? No. Come back. Come back, please. There we go. Good. Yes, please. Try to pay attention when I'm hiding Easter eggs. Ah, right. Right. Not the amusement park ride. Oh, that's a wagon. Azzurri, the Trabant. So quite a few today while walking within a mile of my home. No! Show us! Shredder's come back, Kangas just electrocuted himself. No! Don't say that. Not even a fade transition, huh? I mean, I had to snap you out of it somehow. Right. So this all looks pretty unloaded and nice. Just thinking what else needs to be done aside from adding more details to that little area beside the station. Unloaded or unladen? In this context, I'd probably say unloaded. But maybe the other one, I don't know. Don't quite know. So, yeah, it's all pretty good. I especially like how this area is turning out here. Actually, did we have a zebra crossing here? No. Although we've got traffic lights. Did you already place taxi stands by the terminus? No, that's a good point. Oh, right, yeah, I need to place cars in the parking lots, taxi stands, detailing this. That's all very good. Those are very good points. Also, I did just fly over where the Trabant was placed in that little flyover that I did. So you could actually have seen it on the stream if you're paying enough attention. And first the ground station. Yes, that as well, of course. Let's see. I'll also probably need to put some sort of ivy or something over along the wall so that the pattern doesn't repeat as much. Oh, that's wrong thing. Yeah. Oh, don't missed it. Well, just gonna have to watch the stream back, and then you might be able to spot it a bit better. Oh, these also exist not as trackside objects. Interesting. That's actually really interesting. So you could use invisible speedboards for the actual trackside objects, and then have those placed, the actual objects placed on different locations around beside the track, maybe a little bit higher, a little bit further away, depending on where they would best fit. Very interesting. How many characters, if any, do you know called Ivy? I mean, Poison Ivy, of course, springs to mind, and Ivy as well. And oh, of course, you can't forget Ivy. But I think that's about every character I know that's called Ivy. Also goes for Abastro 916 and Marky 7, 8, and 100. I know an actual Ivy, if that counts. None. Ah, right. Okay, good. Good. My plan is going according to plan. Mwahaha. Derelict barrel. To the rescue. I'll probably have a few parked cars over here somewhere. Although I don't really need to put too much detail on there. Maybe I can put a bit of like dried grass here as well, just to add a little bit more detail. Yep. That's a little bit too large. I mean like really short dried grass. Yeah, like that. But maybe not all over the place. Maybe just a little bit over here. Kind of like that. And that's fine to overlap a bit as well. I need to turn on limit contextual information again. Yeah, that's much better already. Okay, and then let's put in a little... what is it? What are they called? Not pickup. Wrecker? No. Shadow of Khan! Hello! Good to see you as well. Is it just the pickup truck I was looking for? Yes, this one. This is the asset I was looking for. I'll read the rest of chat in a bit. Okay, so I'll want one of these over here by the single box. Yes, I should have gone. This could very, very well be the last building the Milton Valley Railroad stream. There will be sessions building streams, but there may be one more if I notice something off stream that I still want to build on stream, but I doubt it. I think we've got it pretty well covered. So now how am I going to do this with the ivy? Am I just going to have this be... How does this look if it just ends like that? Actually, that doesn't look too bad. Right. I've heard of poison ivy, but no, do not know the character. That's why I also didn't guess it when I met you through it in Scribble.io a good few months back. But I also know an ivy. Ivy Pepper! Just from the pilot. Sheriff Khan, hey. Oh, right. Yes, I see. Oh, yes. Guten Abend. Oder morgen. Haha, genau. Gute Nacht. Wie wär's damit? Yep. I'm glad that you stopped by for this stream. The town of Ivy Bridge in Devon. Yes. And it does actually have a bridge that has ivy on it. Oh wait, no, that was South Brent. It has a viaduct. Yeah, I know. But does that viaduct actually have ivy on it, or not? Right, so this is the first pass with the ivy, and then I might add a few of the other ivy splines on top of this one, just to add a little bit more variety. Yes, indeed. It sounds interesting when Paradise reads German. Oh, you know, because I can pronounce it well. Which you'll prefer, Cardiff or Portsmouth? Well, I've never been in Cardiff. I have been in Portsmouth. So I guess I'd have to say Portsmouth, just based on that. Not properly beamed either. I've only been to Portsmouth, but only around the block. It was a huge block, though. I see. Bigger or smaller than Borg Cube? Okay, and then here you can see I can just overlay a few other splines like that, and that'll give a little bit more detail to some areas. Was it HMS Victory shaped? Ha ha ha. I've been to the bay area of Cardiff as well as the waterfront in Portsmouth. Well, which do you prefer then? It was a Royal Navy tennis court, but it was huge. Yeah, I mean, I would expect it to be huge if you've got Royal Navy ships playing tennis. Okay, I need to move that in slightly. Now I want one more spline kind of over here. Does this one fit? Yeah, that one fits. Probably Portsmouth. You can see the ferries to France go in and out as well. Good point. When it takes 4.5 hours to get there, you don't have much time to explore. I know. I know that feeling from personal experience. Also, I don't like that there. I just don't. I think I'll just extend one of these a little bit over that way. This is a little bit not fragile, but it's a little bit more transparent. It's not as obvious if I just place this spline a little bit like that. Just enough to add a little bit of variety, not enough to obviously look different. And I think this one needs to be extended a little bit because it is kind of too squished. Okay. Still not a great deal of variety. You can still see the repeating texture quite a lot. Maybe I can put like one of those skips there. People ferries or car ferries? Car ferries. Oh yeah, I know that feeling. What's the same deal when going to Plymouth, Dartmoor or Summit when I had still lived Far East Dorset? Far East Dorset. Yeah. I will post some photos on the Discord. Thank you. I wouldn't say Dorset in the Far East. Actually, I'm just going to... Could bury some spline with the ivy, add some variety. I could. If I really wanted to. Now, where did I use that? Let's skip past it. I think I used it over here in the gravel pit area, maybe? No. Maybe over in Northusia? I know that I used it near the beginning of the route, or at least I think I did. There we go, there it is, the green one, that's the one I meant. Well, you wouldn't, But relatively speaking, it is quite far, especially by bus. Especially if you walk on your tongue. Okay, I'm going to put that over here. Yeah, I think that adds quite a bit. And maybe a few tires. No, not train tires, just derelict tires. Now, weren't there derelict tires? Huh. Although I suppose these do fit quite nicely in color-wise. And again, I don't really need to put much there, because I mean, it's basically just a big open area for work, so... Oh, tire like that. Ah, there we go. Thank you for this. Maybe I should just go through the derelict assets a little. No, I don't want a derelict barn here. Derelict bath. No. A derelict boxcar. That could work. Or maybe I should put it over here or something. Yeah, maybe over against the wall there. And then lower it down so that it's actually sitting on the floor like that. Yeah, that looks good. No derelict bath? How about a derelict bristle then? Haha. I think that a single derelict bristle is going to be a little bit too small to really notice. Actually, that might be fun. Hold on. Which area looks a little bland still? Maybe kind of over here. How about a little car seat or something, just kind of there, so that you can sit there and you can watch the trains coming in and out of the station all day long, if you really want to. And then some garbage bags, of course. And those I'll just put over here. Right, now, over to this. The Greyhound. Oh, yes, before we do that, I want to put down the interurban halt thing. Oh, what was it called? I guess I'll have to load the Maxford into Urban to get the asset, because I have no idea what it was called. Maxford time! I don't know why it's got these two images there. I never put this on the route. I have no idea why it's got those two images in there. Oh, where was it? Oh, it's right there. Haha. Right next door. Okay. There we go. Shelter. That's what it was called. Portsmouth photos are added on Discord under MISC. Don't get many of Cardiff. Didn't get many of Cardiff. Don't worry. Doctor Who got plenty of Cardiff. Aegis Ram Super Summer 2. I don't know. Ooh, 153. That's, I think, a comment addressed to Kango, because those are Kango's roots on the bottom, except for the ones that are obviously mine. But obviously, I mean, if you hover over them and you see who the author is. Yeah, it is quite easy to kind of fall asleep when it takes that long to load, and you start to dream about a snowy night. And no, wake up, wake up! I've got work to do still. No, I said wake up. Good. Finally. Right. Yeah, I did a one-base board, all water route, and put 153 on it for potential locomotive showcase pictures meant for reflections to be on. You're 153. Wake us again, Sharon. Thanks. Wake us again, Sharon. Thanks. Now I'm just going to wait for all of this stuff to finish loading in, which it pretty much has now. Good. But is there actually enough space for this here? That's the question. And there should be here. Yeah. Ooh, and look, these have labels on one side. So there we go. Although I think these should be turned the other way around, so that if you're approaching the station, you look out to the front, you know where you're coming from. Like, like if you're getting off here, you know where you are. Okay. I have no idea whether or not the lights work. No idea. That's something you can test if you would like to. On the shelter. I have no idea. No idea. Okay, so it's time to make a little gap in here, like we pretty much always do. Come on. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that there. To delete that bit. And then I'm going to add in another spline right there. And then just have this white line carry on to about there, if that works width-wise. Which I'm not certain whether it will or not. And it won't. Okay. Yeah, so I need to do this pretty much manually. So it needs to go to there. Then this can go straight up to there. And then this I'll just make like this. And I know I probably don't need to put all of this road marking detail in here. However, if you're going here and you're looking over, then I want you to be able to see something there. And so, actually I need to bring this a little bit more forward. And so, road markings, even if they're not strictly necessary here, is still a good idea. But as far as I'm AFK at the moment. Well, that K. Not entirely sure what you mean by that. You are away from keyboard at the moment. Well, away from that keyboard. Oh yeah, right. I mean, you mean with the lights, so you can't check because you're okay. Well, yeah, just check later. Just check later. Also, I do not like this tarmac going into grass right there. I want some, I think maybe some sort of gravelly thing between there might look quite good. Just sort of like that on the edges. It's a bit of a transition. Although that scale is much too large. Hold on. And then I'll of course want a few other textures mixed in here as well. A little bit of this cracked texture over here. And then I'll want the bluish one over in there, just to differentiate this a little bit more. Then maybe I'll move the buses closer a little bit as well. Have a little wall between them. What do you mean? Between what? Do you mean between the grass and the tarmac? A little wall running along there? Agreed. Don't want the coaches colliding with palms between asphalt and grass. Yeah, I think that might look very nice. I'll try it. Although I need to find where I used that wall supply. I think it was over here at Museum Street. Oh, actually, it was used at the museum. AJS low wall. Dry stone wall? Nah. Nothing. Something more American. Actually, I'll do it like this, and then I'll lower it down, and then I'll place it over. You're right, that does look better, although I'll have to get rid of the gravel in there a bit. See, this is why I've hired you. Sorry, wasn't supposed to disclose that. Sorry about the NDA. Oh, and then I'll also add one of them running along here. Yeah, I should do it. You fired who? No, 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 hired. Oh, sorry. I keep accidentally breaking the NDAs. Whose NDAs? Of my employees. Oh, damn it. Always. Your trickery. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks a lot nicer. I'll also have it running along here a little bit. That was a good suggestion. Yay. Good. Oh yes, I do much prefer that. That looks a lot better. Now we just need some dumpsters. Just a couple of them over along here. Just so you've got the lovely palms with trash in front. And also you'd of course have newspaper trash laying around here as well, since people are probably going to be reading newspapers as they're waiting for their buses here, and then maybe a little pile in the corner there where the wind blows them. Against the wall. Just sort of like that, just to give it a little bit more detail. Ah yes, I do muchly prefer that. That looks a lot nicer. Now, we just need dumpsters. Do the greyhounds need road markings too? Nah, they're fine. Now, about those taxi stands. Did you have any particular asset in mind for the actual stands? Or did you imagine just a few taxis lined up somewhere? I've got a taxi marker like that, but... Oh, so you mean just like that? Okay. I wonder, should they be... Actually, maybe we could just have them over here. Yeah, that might be nice. Just add a bit more detail to this little area in front there. Yes, and if you're driving along here and you look back there, you can see that you've got taxis there. Okay, so I'm quite happy with how this area looks. I may go over it and add a few more extra details later on sometime, but for now I want to just place cars in front of buildings so that it looks a little bit more lived in. Let's go to these ones. Actually, no, we'll go to the group first. We'll do the group assets first. Okay, so let's do the right side first. And I don't want to add cars where you're not really going to see them. So back there on the right, I guess there is kind of a gap. Although I might just want to add single cars there. Yeah, it's not really a place for married vehicles anyway. Over here, on the other hand... Oh, although maybe on the side would be better. Yeah, just like that. Already makes it feel so much more lived in. And then if you look between these buildings... then you do still kind of have to have a little bit of something back there. Just something like that. Even though I know this may not be very realistic in terms of actual road layout, because you'd have the blocks probably be a little bit smaller with back streets running between them, stuff like that. But that would take much, much, much longer to build and wouldn't really add that much. Yeah, just a little bit back there so you can see that there's actually stuff going on. And then along here, I think I'm just going to add a little bit of a different texture, actually. Maybe a little bit more of this kind of stony texture running along there so that it looks more like an alleyway instead of just being plopped down onto the concrete randomly. Okay. Maybe the text stands would be better after all? What do you mean? Having them on the curb just seems a tad off. Well, okay. It's not the curb though, the curb is the corner. Just move them over a little bit. There you go. Actually, tell you what. Well, that would be a reserved space for taxis. Tell you what, I'll just, if I can find where I used it. I think I used it over here. I'll add this little barrier. Oh, hello, Mr. Snipes. I'm glad you made it as well. Maybe if I add a little barrier in front. Just so that it's clear that this area is reserved for taxis, even though, well, I suppose I could have little gaps. Like that. How does that look? I think that looks a little bit better. That way it's clear that this is reserved for taxis. Okay, so back to cars. As if taxis weren't cars. Yeah, probably just like that back there somewhere, like that. This all looks good. That all looks good as well. Maybe something a little bit back here. Yeah, that looks okay. Nothing like a good old Texas car fight. Ooh, although you can kind of see through there, that's not ideal. I need to paint, get rid of the green there a little bit, like that. So a few cars in there, so if you do look over that way, you can see there's a little bit of detail there. Although I'm not, actually no. No, that's wasted performance. Oh, should have come. Are you still going to design the grey areas? I always hate it when I ride the train in Trainz and you can see the grey area or even a hole from the train. So, to answer your question, I'm going to hide the holes. So, for example, over here in the mountains, I mean, with this render distance, it isn't that obvious, but you can see the back side of the terrain there. You can see the holes in the terrain, and that I am going to fix. I'm going to fill in those with some 10-meter grid size terrain, so you don't see the holes. In the city, I have gone through with realistic lines of sight. So with the camera being about sort of this high up, and with this camera angle going along the tracks, you shouldn't be able to see out of the buildings. There should always be a building blocking your line of sight. Now, yes, between some of the buildings, there isn't going to be much detail, simply because, well, you can already tell that performance isn't great in this area, and adding in a lot of detailed objects there, like these cars and things like that, would just be unnecessary, especially for lower-end computers. However, I am adding in a few cars. For example, back there, it looks quite empty, so I'm probably going to add a few cars along there so you can actually see that there is a little bit of stuff there. So, yeah. I mean, whenever I'm building anything in Trainz, pretty much the number one thing that I'm thinking about in terms of what needs to go where is line of sight. Whether that's when I'm building countryside, where it's about where the trees are. If you're going to rotate the camera, is the camera going to be in the trees? Can you actually see the landscape that I'm building? Or whether it's about in a city like here, where with the buildings, or when it's whatever, line of sight. Thanks for info. You're welcome. Add cars to the left of the little park. Add cars to the left of the little park? Not sure where you mean. Actually, I think I need a red car in there because we've got the blue, and so red will stand out quite well. I don't know which little park you mean, sorry. I had only just seen on the map that you had grey areas there, hence my question. I see. You've got the really large park and the small one. I'll have a look. Okay, I'll just put one car back there as well. That's probably okay. I don't need to really do anything back there. So what did you mean in terms of small park? So you've got the large park here. And then... Oh, do you mean the small park that's back here? Do you mean this one? Oh, you want me to add cars in this space. This is what you mean, back here. Yep, that's a good point. Even though you really won't see it because you've got the... I mean, well, you might see it. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this is the right location. Good. Don't need to add a lot of them, just a few. Just enough so that you can see that there's actually stuff going on there. Okay, so now let's check the other side of the tracks. Don't really need to do much there. I will place a few back here. I thought I'd already placed the car group here, but apparently I did not. Actually, just... I'm tempted to just put this here as an Easter egg. Ooh, actually, is there a... Is there an orange one? Oh, I don't know. I don't think there is, unfortunately. Although I suppose this one might work. Then we'll need a little sign. Oh, what were... Kango, do you know what those signs were called? Oh, thank you very much. That was very quick. Let's see. There we go. A nice little art installation funded by sugar money. Oh, I thought I pressed the T. Mobster, car candy. Put a circus performer on top and a crowd gathered round. Haha. Nah. It's supposed to be modern art installation. To also be advertising for Mobster Candy Co. But I don't think we need a circus performer to be stationed up there permanently. Okay, that all looks pretty good, especially since you're not really going to see back there too much. We need some over here, specifically along here. Maybe a black one back there as well. And a little black one peeking up behind the corner there. And then I'll put blue one there. Just so you know that these are actually spaces that are supposed to be accessible by car. Or pickup. Although those two need to be rotated the same way. Nope, not that one. That was already rotated correctly. Just so that it looks a little bit more unified. Okay, that looks pretty good. I probably need a few cars around here. Although just one car on there doesn't look good. I'll need a few more along here. Okay, and then maybe one more, maybe a red one, just sort of there. Yeah, that makes that look much better. Now I think I will have a little group of them back there, just because that is a bit of a larger space and needs a few more in there to really work. Already put some there. I guess I'll put a few back here as well, just so it looks more like an actual street. Okay, so I will take a few of the sleeper, I'll save, and I'll take a few of these sleepers, put them down near the turntable, and then we'll see. Yeah, I think that's enough for this little area. Ooh, cars on the left. On this bit, I completely forgot I wanted to have this be a little parking area. The viaduct in Ivy Bridge does have ivy. Ooh, I'll have a look on that. Oh, thank you for looking it up. Come on, need to select that completely. And I'll zoom out so that it isn't too laggy. Ah, haha. You're right, it does. Impressive structure. If you're curious where this is, it's here, in case that helps. So it's pretty much on the east coast, no, sorry, it's pretty much on the south coast of England. Right, you can't click on the whole link. It's fine, I've copy-pasted it into the URL bar. Come on down to Parking Joe's, America's #1 parking lot facility. Also, about the taxi stands again, I've thought about how they've been depicted in films and TV and such. From what I know, they've always just occupied part of a normal lane like that. Yeah, but I don't have that much space, so I've put it off onto the sidewalk. I guess it might be different per state. Anyway, I think that's... well, hold on. I'll add a couple more cars back here. But then that's pretty much everything. Is there anything more that I can currently see here that I want to build on stream? Easter egg idea. Maybe just add a taxi sign beneath then? Nah, you wouldn't really see it. Plus, painted on the cobblestones isn't a great idea. Singular dumpster on a rooftop somewhere. Singular dumpster on a rooftop somewhere. Okay, sure. Sure. Is this building already... Nope, let's put that on temp locked. Let's add in a dumpster there. Raise it up, if I can indeed raise it up high enough. Up, there we go. There we go. There's a little dumpster on the rooftop there. And it's actually in a place where you can see it if you're looking for it. Okay, so we've put all that in. I've done the texturing, I've done the detail work on these areas, I've detailed the platforms, I've put cars all over the place, put in Easter eggs. I touched up a little bit of the other scenery. I fixed some of the bits of the other stations. That might be it. That might very well be it. So I'll do what I've said that I'll do, which is between now and Thursday's stream slot, I will fly over the entire route and make a list of things that I want to do off stream. And also, if I notice anything, I'll also make a list for things that I want to do on stream. So, and if there's anything in that list, then there will be another MVR route building stream. Don't mind that on the right, the assets just haven't loaded in properly here. There are actually buildings there. But yeah, if that list is, however, empty, like I've previously said I want it to be, then this was the last Milton Valley Railroad route building Trainz TRS-19 live stream. There will be, like I've said, session making streams on this once I've done all of the little updates and stuff that I want to do behind the scenes. Come on. I know that there are buildings there. I've placed them here. I know that they're there. Come on. Yeah, so I don't know why they're not loading. I know that I've definitely placed them there. Hold on a minute. Just 1 minute. I'll quickly save. I'll get a screenshot. And then I'll reload just to make absolutely sure that this isn't just a little area that I forgot to put buildings in, because that might be the case. And actually, tell you what, the screenshot really should be the map view. It really should be the map view like this, without all the consist things. Hold on. Map options, consists. There we go. I'll zoom in a little bit more, so I've got a little bit more resolution to play with if I need to for the thumbnail. Like that. Right, so now I'll quickly go back to that little area, go out, go back in, just to make absolutely sure, because if not, if I have actually forgotten to put buildings there on that little road going back there, because I don't think I have, but I might have, then I do quickly want to do that before ending the stream, because that is actual genuine scenery that I want to put on stream. Let's just quickly double check. Right, like I was saying before, if that list is empty, then I will only be able to make the session live streams when I've updated all the scenery and made sure that all of the junctions have the correct switch tracks and objects and the correct speed limits, and the signaling's all correct, and all of that stuff. Plus also reskins. So in the meantime, I guess that there will be a little bit of a pause in train streams, because I've got the other route, the third rail electric route, that I want to start working on and doing train streams on. But before I can start working on that, I need to at least get my train into a state, like the class 465, into a state where it is usable for the route, so that it actually looks good in it. And it's not quite there yet. So I guess it would be MISC stuff. Ah, I've had an idea. I've just remembered. We've not fully looked at Polaris yet. that's something we can do. If I've not built, if the MVR is finished building, we can finally finish looking at the Polaris route, East of Eagle's Polaris route, with all the sessions. If Eagle's got time. Also, Marquee as well. Once your route's update has been released, Contrailways. That's something I want to have another look at as well. Now let's quickly have a look over here. Did I actually place these buildings or did I forget about them? It looks like I forgot about them, although we'll just have to wait and see. I can very quickly just add a few buildings there. It's not too big of a deal. I never thought I'd see the day. Well, it's nighttime, so... Whoa! Turns into tornado siren. Ha ha ha. So what does the schedule look like from now on? Well, for the time being, it would probably be MISC stuff, if indeed I don't notice anything else that I want to build live on this route. Plus the Trainz, the route showcase on Polaris and Contrailways. But yeah, maybe a bit of Train Simulator as well, because that's something that I wanted to do for a while again, but not quite been able to yet. There we go, and I do kind of like this little area being open there. However, the green space needs to be formalized a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit of a grass spline along here, just so that it looks deliberate. Which it now does. Just a little bit of the texture underneath here. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Glad I noticed that. Right. We'll ski, haha. And then, just as a little experiment, you could mirror the pic on the thumber. Ha. See, you would notice. Should I reskin Dave's nose, Fairmont MT19 speeder for the MVR? Once I've got my liveries, maybe, if you want. Isn't that one we did on New Year's Eve? We did do Train Simulator on New Year's, but do you mean something else? I don't know which one you mean specifically. Oh, Code Monkey, good morning, good evening, good night. Yeah. But isn't 10 PM too late for Eagle? Yeah, I mean, for the ones where we are live streaming his sessions on the Polaris route, I might have to move it forward a little bit so that he can make it time-wise for those. Unconverted time zones. 3 MISCs, wow. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out. This is just conjecture for the time being. Fun fact, New Year's Day was 16 weeks ago. This past Sunday. Yeah. 30% of the year gone. Wow. It's gone by so fast, probably. I enjoy a good train sim session here and there. Yeah. Should that be grass? Yeah. That should be. Because I want that building back there to be visible, because I really like the shape of it, and I don't want it to be blocked by other buildings. So just having a little grassy area there really works quite well, I think. Anyway, I've got the thumbnail, I've got all the stuff. Just let's save again just to be sure. And you can be certain that after the stream I'll export this as a CDP and make a backup. I always do that after every train stream, but this time specifically and explicitly and especially. So with that, I'm really happy that you all were here for this journey, and especially for this stream. And this will be archived on YouTube. And basically, good night. Good night, yes. Milton finally gets his valley. Aw. Bye-bye.